And of course, I am your host, DJ Friction. And guys, we are back. Listen, we got a great show for you. But before we get into anything, and before I get into the whole spiel of introducing everybody, I just want to let you know that Mike is not here tonight, unfortunately. But he will be back next week. Unfortunately, he really wanted to be here, but was not able to make it due to other priorities. But he is here in spirit. But we got something even better for you. And you may remember him and know him as the Iceman. He is no other than Kevin, the Iceman Campy. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Woo! It is so good to be back. Awesome to be back. We should just say that Mike is fine. He's not sick or anything like that. It's a priority that is just normal everyday life.
Exactly.
So y'all don't worry. It's not any sort of complication or anything like that. So
he didn't lose a nut or nothing like that. He still got still got both nuts.
He's got the giblets. We're good to go. But he did threaten to call into the show, so he may very well be listening. So we don't want to mislead folks and make them think that they need to send in condolences for Mike. I mean, Mike is fine. He's working through things.
Oh man! Oh, I'm trying to pay attention to the chat room. I already got people saying, Miss Brenda Kelly's here in the chat over on Facebook Live. Thank you, Miss Brenda Kelly. She says she's on the laptop watching with Miss Dorothy, her little girl. Oh, by
Dorothy,
the way,
wake up!
Yeah, congratulations on the new baby girl, Miss Brenda. She's one of our long-time listeners, like 7 years, 8 years we've been on the air. She's been listening since day one.
That is awesome. And we are now entering year 5 for the weekly rundown.
5 years. And Kevin's been with us 3?
I've been here 3 years. This is starting year 3, and I'm excited to be back for year 3 and looking forward to getting the whole team back together again. So, Mike, fix your schedule, dude. Fix it!
I know.
It's all right. We might actually talk politics, and you're not here.
We're so sorry. Guys, you guys want to call into the show? We are live right now. We're live on iHeartRadio. Thanks to our great friends at iHeartRadio. And also, I got to say a very, very special thank you to our very huge sponsor and partner, XSplit. Because without XSplit, we wouldn't have this wonderful free software that they're giving to us for a whole free year, and I don't have to make a payment.
That is awesome. So now we can start saving our coin and we can get paid. I'm just kidding, but somebody had to say it. Mike would if he were here.
Yeah.
I just got fired in the first 5 minutes coming back, didn't I?
Well, Mike thought he was getting fired yesterday, and I was just like, he hasn't really done anything. I mean, was he supposed to get fired for not showing up today?
I don't know. Maybe.
I'm already used to him not showing up.
So are we going to allow Skype call-ins? We have that question online, too.
We may allow some Skype call-ins. Are you trying to do video call-in or just a regular call-in? Because if you want to do a regular call-in, you could just call the phone number. We can offer
Brenda,
either.
There you go. There's your answer, Brenda.
The live stream is locking up. Well, if it locks up, it's okay. I don't care. I'm still live on Facebook. As long as I got Facebook, baby, that's all that matters.
That's right. And we're live streaming good stuff.
I want to say a very special thank you to our good buddy, Brew Monkey. He's also been doing some wonderful things behind the scenes. He's been very, very supportive and doing a lot of great things behind the scenes. So I want to thank him so much. He's been a huge, huge part of this network. And he got promoted recently. So,
really?
What is he? What are you, Brew? You're a program director or something like that? Whatever the hell you do now? That's why we promoted him. That was months ago, though. It was like 2 months ago.
He has been promoted to senior program director.
Is it? Yeah, senior program director? Well, whatever.
I don't know. We could demote him to just program director.
Listen, he's my biatch. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, Brenda says she wants to do video so she can show off Dorothy.
Oh, that would be so cute. Something awesome instead of, the topics we have tonight. I wish we were coming back to, dick jokes and things like that, but sadly we're not. We do got some serious things to talk about. We do.
Yeah,
we do have you know, we're coming back. We're happy, and we're going to do some of those fun shows. But we would be remiss if we didn't send out our thoughts and prayers to the families and friends of the victims in Las Vegas. I woke up to that Monday morning, and needless to say, I was without words. I had no words to describe the thoughts that were going through my head at that very moment. I admitted I thought at first it might be terrorism, and well, I mean, some would say it was, because you know it did cause terror. It doesn't matter what you call it; people died, and that's the tragedy of it all. Is that, you know, people went to an event and with no thought that they might not be coming back from it. And my heart goes out to them, as does everyone here at the station.
Yeah, you know, it's unfortunate we had to experience, you know, such a crazy, you know, I don't want to call it a massacre, but such a tragic event, man. And it's been tough, because, you know, just about a year ago we had the whole Pulse thing that took place. And then we were like, wow, you know, we had to go through that whole ordeal. We live here in Orlando, you know, so we're within the surroundings. But then not only that, but now, you know, we got something even much bigger than the Pulse, you know, tragedy. And unfortunately, this all took place in Las Vegas. What was it, last night?
It was Sunday night. Yep, Sunday night. It was during Jason Aldean concert. They were having a music festival in Las Vegas, and I don't even know what you would call the person. The person who started the whole thing was on the 32nd floor of the Mandalay Bay Hotel, and he was opening fire from that vantage point.
What is that, 36th floor or something like that?
32nd floor, and quite the vantage point. Fortunately, the police were able to get to him faster than one would have expected. It could have been much worse, and it was still horrible, but he had 23 weapons and quite a few rounds of ammunition that he had yet to use, and it could have been way worse. And
it could have.
I know Mike would probably take me up on this whole what I'm about to say, but you know, in 1994, Bill Clinton banned assault rifles. And for those of you that don't know what assault rifles are, they're weapons that fire multiple rounds when you pull the trigger down. I support an assault weapons ban, because I don't think anybody in the United States needs a weapon that fires like a machine gun for anything, personal protection or otherwise. I know there are sport shooters out there who might disagree with me, and there are friends that I have that might disagree with me, but if you can give me one valid reason that you need something that shoots off massive amounts of ammunition at a time, I'll listen. But that ban was allowed to expire in 2004, and we have this. And we need to take a long look at not necessarily taking away everyone's guns, but we definitely need to look at the types of weapons that are out there. Because, you know, I'm not opposed to having a pistol for personal protection. I'm not opposed to having rifles for hunting. But when you have a gun that shoots massive amounts of ammunition like this dude had, that's an issue.
Yeah, and not only that, but, you know, once again, you know, usually they say people who go out there and do this type of thing, produce this type of craziness, I mean, they usually have some type of, you know, mental illness, or they're going through something in their personal life. But this guy had really no history.
He had no history, but, you know, from what I'm reading, he did have, he was in debt. He had, he was suing a local casino or hotel over an injury he sustained. But from all accounts, this truly was the last person you would expect to do something like this. I mean, but then again, I don't think I know anyone that I would expect to do that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know about you, but I meet lots of people every day, and I don't think I've ever met anybody that I looked at and said, yeah, that guy's going to kill a bunch of people someday.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, of course we're all surprised when it happens, and people who knew him are certainly surprised. But, you know, again, it's the quiet ones. It's the ones that you have no idea what causes it or what snapped, and there's no, can you prevent that from happening to somebody? If there's no signs, I don't know what you can do.
Miss Barbara is up in the chat right now. Miss Barbara Wall, she says, "Amen, Kevin."
Well, I appreciate that because I believe strongly in your constitutional rights, but at some point you have to draw the line. I mean, if we lived in some place like Israel where we had enemies all around us, I might see that. But we live in the United States, and honestly, are you going to pour 30 rounds into a deer in less than 30 seconds? I mean, seriously. Yeah. I've been hunting, and I've used, a 30-06, a 30-30. Those shoot one shot, very powerful. And I can tell you as a gun owner, I've never shot and killed anything. I hunted, but I really didn't want to kill it because I wasn't going to do anything with it.
Yeah.
So, I target shoot. That's what I do. I enjoy target shooting. I enjoy sport shooting, but I don't kill anything with it. But I don't need a weapon, and I don't know anyone who does that shoots that many rounds of ammunition. Mm-hmm. I don't understand what it's going to take. And let me be very clear. The gun is not to blame here. The person is. But having said that, if he has a gun that shoots one or two shots, or one shot at a time, do we have 58 dead, 500 injured? No, we don't. Let's be honest about that. And a lot of those people got injured in the stampede of people trying to get out because, you fall. And thank goodness that I'm hearing stories of unbelievable heroism from people who, just ordinary, everyday American citizens who were helping people even while the bullets were flying. And that gives me hope.
Yeah.
That, we always talk about the military running toward the sound of danger. Mm-hmm. Well, there were people who weren't military, who were just everyday, average people who, when the chips were down, they were helping their fellow American or person at their own risk. And that gives me hope. I mean, it's sad that we have to have an event like that. I'm getting emotional. I'm sorry. It's sad that we have to have an event like that for that to come out. Because think about if we applied that same thought process in our everyday lives. If we just helped people without regard to their religion, their race, their sexuality, their whatever. If we just help people because we could. Because we were in the right place at the right time to do so. And I'm hoping what comes out of this is we start to see that. Because I read a story of a young African-American guy who pulled 30 people out
of this
concert.
Yep.
30 people, and he was injured, and he may have that bullet in his neck for life. I mean, that guy, I'd like to meet him and shake his hand. I might cry when I meet him. I mean, good Lord, that guy deserves something. I don't know what, but that's just, you don't find that in normal people. Or maybe you do, and it just takes something like this to bring it out.
Yeah.
So, but I can say that, we talked about this as a family, and it's not going to affect how I do things. As I told my son, my number could come up anytime. Mm-hmm. Live your life.
Yeah, you definitely can't predict what's going to happen to you. I mean, you can walk down the street, you can go to the mall, you can go to Walmart, you can go wherever you want to go, and God forbid something just will happen at that location. You can't predict, when what's going to happen to you, and you walk out the door 5 minutes from now.
No, you certainly can't. And I think the thing that has come out of this that kind of disgusts me is the politics. Other than the loss of life and injuries. I mean, don't get me wrong. But the politics that's come out of this. I saw people post, well, country music concerts are full of Trump supporters. Let's hope they got them instead of, good people. And to me, that's just disgusting and sick. And that makes you no better than the person you hate, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And I don't think this is something that, I think the political part that needs to come out of it is we need to do something about weapons like that. We just need to. I mean, there's no two ways around it. There has to be, and the thing is, we have gun laws on the books that are very strict, but they need to be followed across the board, whether that be gun shows, whether that be buying them in person. I mean, Mike detailed on a show last season. You can go back and look it up on YouTube. Check out our YouTube channel. subscribe, hit like on all our videos, help us get monetized on those bad boys. But he detailed the process to buy a weapon in the state of Florida, and it is not easy.
Yeah.
But you can go to gun shows, and it's not so difficult.
You know, one of the things that I want to say that doesn't surprise me, but the fact that people are taking a lot of this out of context. You know, people are using it as a racial thing, using it as a like you said, Republican Democrat thing. You know, Donald Trump
Right.
this and Donald Trump that. But again, you know, one of the things that caught my attention, I was watching the news a little while ago, and they were saying now, and you know how social media sometimes kind of take things out of context sometimes.
Right.
As of right now, I'm just going to confirm this, and we're not, you know, and just let everybody know this, but as of right now, we only know that it was only one shooter.
That's right.
People at the concert and people on social media are trying to blow it up and say, hey, there was multiple shooters. This was planned, you know, way ahead of time. Listen, everyone out there, if you weren't a part of that situation or that incident, a lot of times you guys will watch videos and you guys will sit there and you'll be like, oh my God, look, that person did this. He must be part of that. You guys need to stop assuming things.
Yeah, I saw a video just probably 3 or 4 hours ago that was a video posted from a guy who was across the street from the Mandalay Bay, and he was showing flashes off a 4th floor window saying that shots were coming from there. Well, the problem with the video was that window wasn't broken, and it was reflecting something else, so it wasn't gunshots at all. You know, let's give the Las Vegas PD some credit here. You know, they were faced with a situation that I don't know that they train for that kind of stuff. I'm sure they do, but I can't imagine mass casualties, mass victims, and trying to find a guy that's loaded for bear and get him before he gets anybody else. If there were other people involved, they're going to find it. You know, social media is not the time to start spreading rumors and crap and garbage about what you think you know or what you think might have happened.
Exactly.
You know, last I checked, a lot of these people on social media aren't police officers. They're not on the scene. They're not doing the investigation. Let's just shut up. Let's not try and give them rumors to chase, and let's let them do their job. You know, they've got his wife in custody, from what I understand, or his girlfriend, or whoever
they did find her?
I believe they did, yes. So, again, I can't report that as fact, but a report that I read said that she was in custody, or they had found her. But someone else confirmed that and let me know. But they'll find out from her, and you know what might have happened. But did he act alone? We don't know. Was there more than one person? We don't know. How long in advance did he plan this? We just don't know that. You know, he had to have planned something to have 23 weapons on site, to have that much ammunition and that much firepower. He had to have some planning, because you don't just walk into the Mandalay Bay Hotel with guns. That's what I'd like to know, is how he got into the hotel with that many weapons. Well, you know, did he sneak them up?
Well, what the news was saying, you know, CNN and Fox and all that stuff, they were saying that maybe it's a possibility that you can get those guns by putting it in a golf club bag.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I have golf clubs here at the house, and golf club bags are fairly large, and you probably could conceal them that way. I mean, you could also take them apart and put them in a suitcase. They don't scan your suitcases coming in. I can see in the very near future where people do have their bags scanned going into hotels now. You know, that's also going to come out of this whole incident, is what do we do to prevent this from happening in the future? But the thing of it is that the more we do, the more unique ways we're going to find people do the same thing. Correct. You know, I mean, look at Pulse. The guy walked into a nightclub with a gun, opened it up, 49 people died. You know, can you would you put a metal detector there? Then there becomes the cost. And frankly, a lot of business owners are going to say, does the cost outweigh the risk?
And one of the other things that they were saying too, and not to try to cut you off, but they were saying that it's not like the Strip, Las Vegas. They're never light on security. They always, when it comes to events and stuff like that, they're always extra careful. They're always very, very, tight. For this person to get through a hotel and all this other stuff, and to get through the hotel and to get a room with weapons and all this stuff on you, I mean, what happened? Did somebody know something? Did maybe somebody know something, like knew him personally in the hotel? Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? I mean, I'm sure that the LVPD is interviewing anybody and everybody on it to find out what they can. So, let's let them do their job. And in the meantime, there are hundreds of families that are going to need all kinds of support.
Yeah,
and that's what we should be worried about right now. Let the police do their job. If politicians want to talk about gun control, fine. But we also need to talk about a few other things too. We need to talk about mental health.
Mm-hmm.
That's something we need to talk about. We need to talk about, how do we get the message across to people that this isn't the answer? Because let's be real here. In Vegas, it was 58, but it's 1 or 2 nightly in our cities across America. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's 1 or 2 people nightly on the streets of America. We have over 100 in Jacksonville this year already that have been murdered in various ways, not just with guns, but with cars and knives and hands and everything else. So what is it in the fabric of our society that we need to do to change people's hearts and minds that killing someone isn't the answer? That's the bigger issue.
Yeah.
That's the bigger issue. Because, obviously, if you take the gun out of somebody's hand, they're going to beat them up with a baseball bat.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to hit them with a hammer. They're going to run them over with a car. If you want to kill somebody, you're going to do it. So leave it to my phone to ring right in the middle of the show.
Speaking of a phone ringing, guys, this is your opportunity to call in live to the show right now. It's totally free, 407-459-7934. Give us a call right now. We have the phone lines open for you. We would like to hear what you guys have, your comments, your thoughts on everything that's happened in Las Vegas that just took place a few hours ago. It's tough. I woke up yesterday morning seeing that on the news, and Shakira was just like, "Babe, do you know what just happened?" I'm like, what? I wake up and I'm sarcastic in the morning. I'm just like, what now? And she was just like, "You're not gonna believe what just happened in Las Vegas." I said, "Okay, who died?"
Yeah,
and
lots of people.
Well, yeah, and then when she told me, I was like, "Oh my God, are you freaking kidding me right now? That's just ridiculous."
When we talk about that becoming the new norm in America, and people are saying these things happen all the time, they don't happen all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I read a statistic somebody put out, and the statistic was completely false. Yes, it does happen. It happens too often. But this isn't the new norm in America. It just isn't. But when it happens, we need to make sure that we're making changes to try and prevent the next crazy from taking apart a crowd at some concert somewhere.
Exactly. And with that being said, guys, I want to take the time to show some love to our great friends at Hamilton Radio, our sister station out in New Jersey. So if you guys want to look for some great, awesome talk radio, and you're looking for some awesome, great music, please head on over and check out our friends at Hamilton Radio. They got some great stuff happening over there, and man, they're amazing. Head on over to HamiltonRadio.net. One of my favorite shows that I really, really enjoy that they broadcast is Animal House Radio. And Kevin, I don't know if you had the opportunity to check them out, but you need to. It is some cool stuff. They recently interviewed what's his name? The singer who sings Jessie's Girl.
Oh, Rick Springfield.
Rick Springfield. He was just on the show a couple of days ago, and man, they did some awesome, great stuff, man. And actually, they're supposed to be having some of the artists do some voiceovers for our show and send them our way too. So that'll be awesome to have.
That would be incredible.
That'll be amazing.
Yeah. So if you want a particular person on the show and you know them and they want to be on the show, let us know. We've got some guests lined up. I'm working on a few interesting ones that I hope will join us.
They all have their legs and their body parts, and they're all sane, correct?
No, they don't sing necessarily.
No, not sing. That they're all sane.
Oh, they are sane. Yeah, of course they're sane. I don't go after people who are insane.
You know, no crazy YouTube videos. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, no. Well, you know what though? I did try and get a YouTuber on who's fairly popular, and you know, I'm sorry, we have a show that comes on at 7 o'clock Eastern time. We're willing to bend a little bit to re-record if we have to, but you know, to tell me that you want us to go on at 10 o'clock Eastern so that you can go on at 7 Pacific, that just doesn't work. We have a schedule to keep. So, you know, I said bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
She recently direct messaged me and asked me if I would reconsider, and at this point I said no.
Well, if she could reconsider coming on at our time.
Right. Exactly. That's what I said. In my message I said, if you're willing to come on at 7 Eastern, or 7:30 Eastern, and do a 30-minute segment, we'll be more than happy to do that.
Happy to have you.
Yeah, but she's pretty popular. She's got a lot of followers. People know who she is. So I'm not going to give her any publicity. But
yeah,
you want to come on our show. We don't need you.
Yeah, exactly. One thing I do want to mention is hello, Miss Jen. How you doing, Miss Cooper Freak? She's over on the Facebook live video chat that we got going on over there. And Mike just sent me a message right now. He says, "Give me a call live on the air."
Oh Lord. I wonder if he heard what I just said. Probably.
Hey, I'm asking him to send me the number so I can punch it into the system because my new phone. I got a new phone, so my new phone doesn't have all the numbers.
And what kind of phone did you get?
Well, it's still a Metro piece of shit. It's Samsung.
Yeah.
It's still a Metro piece of shit.
Oh, he wants a number to call into the show.
Oh, you want a number? Oh my God, Mike, give me a second. Go ahead, Kevin. You can get into the next segment while I go ahead and get this phone number sent. All
right. So while Lewis is getting Mike squared away, we did also want to mention that Shakira and Lewis both have connections to Puerto Rico, and of course they just went through Hurricane Maria a week or so ago, or 2 weeks ago, and it's been an incredible situation down there. And again, the politics of it all has been absolutely insane, with people not really concerned about the victims and more concerned about political agendas. I got into trouble on Facebook this week.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not going to lie, because there was a news report out of Puerto Rico talking about the Jones Act. And for those of you who aren't familiar with what it is, it's a Maritime Protection Act that protects the American merchant fleet from foreign competition within American waters. And what that means is that if you want to ship something from New York to Jacksonville, you have to do it on an American ship if you want it to go direct. What that also means is that fuel oil, petroleum, whatever, picked up in Texas for delivery in Florida has to be done on a Jones Act tanker, which is an American flag vessel that is allowed to carry fuel within the United States. One of the reporters from Communist Broadcasting System, or CBS as we like to call it, suggested that we were that the Trump administration was playing politics by not waiving the Jones Act, when in fact they had no clue what they were talking about. Picture the Port of San Juan as a parking lot, okay? And in essence, ports are parking lots. If you have shopping carts in 15 out of your 20 spots, how many cars can you fit in the parking lot? 5. You have to get out and move those 15 carts before you can get a car in that spot. Well, picture the port in much the same way. If first they have to survey the port to see if there's any underwater obstructions that might damage a ship or prevent it from mooring. And then they have to know if the equipment shoreside is able to handle whatever's being shipped in, whether that's fuel or cargo, whatever. What's up, Mike?
What's up?
How you
How's
doing?
it going?
How y'all doing tonight?
We miss you,
Good.
boo.
What's the topic we're on?
Well, you just missed the Las Vegas one.
Oh. Well, I'm working, so I get
I
a break
know.
from you.
I know. We're just giving you a hard time, but you're welcome to weigh in on it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's,
There was more people there than it wasn't a one-man job. By no means. I don't care what they say. Something that drastic doesn't get pulled off by one person. And you're not a
I think we lost him.
In 6 months you go, rogue. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Some drastically kicked and swung him is what I'm saying. And that's what his brother's trying to tell everybody. Hey, he's like a choir boy, never was in trouble. Got one citation, that was it. Hey, I gotta go. I'm on break, off break, but you guys have a great show, and I'll see you on the next show.
All right, we're looking
buddy.
forward to it. Good to hear you.
All right, y'all have a good night.
You take it easy, bud. You have a good one.
You too.
All right, y'all. That was Michael the Professor Benson touching base on what he thought of the whole Las Vegas incident that took place.
Interesting opinion.
Shakira says it always is. Oh man, she is not.
I think I don't know how much of that I buy. I mean, Mike reads way more than I do. I will admit it. I spend most of my time buried in schoolwork and buried in taking care of things around the house and getting stuff done. And I don't read a whole lot into all these stories because first off, I'm one of these people that when I read it, I want to verify it somewhere else before I run with it.
Correct.
I'm not going to go out to, I'm just picking a name out of random here. I'm not going to go out to the Christian Science Monitor and take what they say as fact. I'm going to go verify it somewhere else. I'm going to see what somebody else posts about it, and I'm not going to go with somebody's opinion. So, I'm sure he's more well-read than I am and probably has, a bit more, a bit more interest in the story maybe. Not that I'm not interested. I'm just more interested in how do we help these people find their lives after this, because there are over 500 people who were injured in this, and some of them may yet still pass away, and we need to be doing for them and worried about them right now. And I've said that before, and I'll say it again. Let's get these people well and let the PD do their job, and then we can start talking about all this other nonsense.
Correct. Yep. Hey, Brenda, this is your opportunity. You want to call into the show? Call in right now before we jump into the Puerto Rico situation. This is your opportunity to do it right now because I'm cutting off the phone lines.
Uh-oh. Cutting down the phone lines.
Cutting off the phone lines. So this is your opportunity. Call in live or forever hold your peace.
Yeah, so Shakira has family in Puerto Rico, correct?
Yes.
And do you?
I do as well.
Okay. And have you heard from all of your family?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I really don't talk to them like that to really talk to them.
Okay.
But Shakira's grandma, we did finally hear from her after like 12 days or 11 days. She's doing okay. She's probably going to be heading out this way to come spend some time with us for a while.
Well, she lives on the other side of the island from San Juan, correct?
Yeah, I think she said she lives over by Aguadilla. Right? Your grandma lives by Aguadilla? Maya West. Yeah,
and that's pretty much where the thing came in, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, so that, thank goodness, because that's definitely a concern. I know the other side of the island is a major concern for getting relief supplies over there, because I don't think there's a port there, but it's not fantastic. You can't get big ships into it.
Yeah.
So they're having to find.
Hey Brenda, the Skype name is DLGRadioFMLive. DLGRadioFMLive. If you're gonna call me on Skype. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so they've got to get over land, and they've got to bring in supplies in small amounts, because it's not a great port over on that side of the island. I hope what comes out of that situation is that somebody spends some money down there, and that's probably going to have to be the U.S. government, and I think it should be, to modernize their electricity grid, modify their communications grid. Puerto Rico is not a poor third world country. It's a modern day country, and their system should never have been allowed to fall into the kind of disrepair they've been in.
Hey, Alicia, you better behave yourself. She says put Shakira on. She'd rather listen to Shakira.
Oh, she'd rather listen to her than us? Okay, I won't take this. That's all right.
Oh, man. We're actually waiting for Brenda to call into the show right now. But in the meantime, yes, man. Listen, there's just been the whole... Yeah, your girl Alicia wants you on the radio. She said no. She's taking a nap.
Oh, she's sleep talking. No, but that was again, just like this thing in Las Vegas being one of those unusual things. This is a once in a lifetime thing, or 2 or 3 lifetime things. Puerto Rico hasn't been hit that hard in a long time, and we're talking about we've had 3 hurricanes in the last month. Maria, 62 fatalities, 83 people missing. Irma, 112 fatalities, 88 of which were in the United States. Harvey, 75 fatalities. And the cost of life for the 3 storms is $249, and then you consider there are still 80 plus missing, so that number could go up. The total cost was $294 billion, and that's across the Caribbean and the United States for those 3 storms. Harvey, $180 billion worth of damage. Irma, 63 million. And so far, Maria is at estimated $51 billion. That's a lot of money to come up with.
Yeah, man. And not only that, but you know what? Puerto Rico has so much to rebuild. So much.
Oh, yeah.
I mean... This is the hardest hit that they've ever been out of all the hurricanes they ever had.
Yeah, this is, like I said, it's a once in 2 or 3 lifetimes event. And let's be honest here. While Puerto Rico is a commonwealth of the United States, they don't have the same building codes that we have here in the U.S. Mm-hmm. Here in the U.S., when you build a house, there's a building inspector that comes out, and if your house does not meet the standards that have been set, which are really strict in states like Florida, you got to go back and fix it before you're certified to live there. In Puerto Rico, they have building inspectors, and they come out and, all right, looks good. Here you go.
No,
you know.
They build their own houses.
Yeah, Shakira says sometimes they don't even do that.
No, well, and that's true. Right outside, if you go into San Juan and you're and you're doing the tour, they take you around El Morro, the fort that you can see as you come in. Mm-hmm. And after you pass it, down on the right, outside the city walls, looks like a shanty town. Looks like it's built with, tin and sticks. I mean, it doesn't even look... It doesn't look like it belongs in a city like San Juan. But then you drive 5 miles down the road, and you've got these high-rise apartment buildings and modern-looking facilities. Mm-hmm. It's just, in the U.S., you see sort of that, but not to that extreme. You can't drive 5 miles in Jacksonville and find shantytown. You just can't. We got hit pretty hard here in Jacksonville, and we didn't lose any lives at all, and we had flooding. If that kind of event had happened in Puerto Rico, which it did, you see 60 casualties. You just see that because the building codes aren't the same. The requirements aren't the same. And, from everything I've read and people I know and people I've talked to, even when people do inspect your house, you can buy them off.
So let me ask you a real serious question, and this is something that's been. It seems like every time I turn on the news or watching the TV with Shakira, she's like, "Oh my God, just turn that off already," because she's tired of hearing about it. But what are your thoughts about the whole? And it's probably gonna piss off a lot of other people, and I really don't care. Donald Trump, him saying, instead of worrying about the people who are struggling right now and don't have the money, the water, or electricity and stuff, he's more worried about how much Puerto Rico owes him.
And there's a time and place for that, and the time is not now, and that's the way I see it. All right, let me put myself in the president's position. Not that I'd ever want to be in that position, but if I were president, and I think most people, well, I can't say most because I've seen too much idiocy in this country. Most sane people would be more concerned about human life than they are about how much the country owes me or how much the country is in debt. Yes, the country's in debt. There are a lot of reasons for it, not the least of which was policies in the 1990s where the tax-exempt status on businesses was removed, and businesses who had factories and businesses there lost their tax-exempt status, and they just left Puerto Rico. And I mean, unemployment went from very low to almost 60%. Mm-hmm. It's estimated that 60 out of every 100 Puerto Ricans don't work. Whether that's by choice or lack of jobs, I'm not sure. But that was a statistic I found staggering. And, there are times I just want to tell the president, shut up.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not anti-Trump. I'm not pro-Trump. But there are times where, and I get that it's his personality. I get that. But there's a time and a place for that.
And this is not the time.
No, it's not. I mean, you do what you need to do because it's the right thing to do. And I said that when we were talking about Las Vegas. And, there have been a lot of people who are upset and feel like the response hasn't been good enough. But I can tell you that I drove to pick Ryan up from school 3 days last week. And every time I went by the Crowley Logistics Center on US 1, there were 60, 70 trucks waiting to get in to be loaded on barges to send to Puerto Rico. Those people who work for my wife's company, I'm not going to mention the name, but they have been putting in anywhere between 16 and 20 hours a day loading barges, and as soon as they're filled, sending them, whether it's a scheduled trip or not. They've been sending them. They sent 50,000 pounds of relief supplies that were donated by employees. Originally, they had a 20-foot container, which is small, and they thought that would be enough. They ended up with a 53-foot container they filled and then some. They have over 100 employees in Puerto Rico. There are 3 shipping companies out of Jackson do business there, and they've all been doing the same thing. And not a one of them has said anything about the long hours. They just do it because it's what needs to be done. They've loaded line trucks, electric supplies, fuel trucks, medical supplies, emergency vehicles. I mean, anything that can be loaded on a barge and secured is being sent.
So let me ask you. So this is a 2-part question. So question number 1 is going to be, what are your thoughts of the mayor of Puerto Rico chewing out a new one on Donald Trump? That's number 1 for what he had to say. Number 2 is, do you think Donald Trump should be out there being hands-on with this whole process in Puerto Rico right now? Should he be in Puerto Rico helping out with the cleanup?
Well, he's already in Puerto Rico, but I would argue that that's what he, and the funny thing is I've heard this same thing about other presidents. Well, Barack Obama wasn't in Louisiana when it was flooded, but honestly, the president needs to visit those places to show support. But in reality, he or she, I'm not going to say that a woman couldn't be president because they can. Whoever is the president needs to be making sure that the people who can do something are on the ground. I can look at it this way and say the mayor of Jacksonville, he's been out working. I kid you not. The guy has been helping clean up crews. He was helping line crews. He was out visiting people. He was answering all his tweets personally, getting help to whoever needed it. I don't think the guy slept. Now, is that the example the president should be following? I don't know. That's that's not, I don't feel that it's his job to be there cleaning up, because there's a lot of logistics that goes along with it that would frankly get in the way. When you have to have security personnel and vehicles and this, that, and the other, you could be hindering the process more than helping it. But what you can do is you can make sure that the people who can do something about it are on the ground doing something about it. Now, as far as the mayor of Puerto Rico, honestly, I have no problem. She's frustrated. She just wants what's best, or the mayor of San Juan, she just wants what's best for her people. And, a person in that position, are they going to be frustrated? Heck yeah, they're going to be frustrated. And they're going to be especially frustrated when the comments that are coming at them, that's not the time or the place. If you want to have that discussion 6 months from now, fine, let's have it. But right now, let's do what we can and have a dialogue that works for all of us to succeed, Because, again, lives are more important than a bunch of BS.
Yeah, yeah. But so if you were in charge of this whole recovery process, Kevin, what step would you take in rebuilding this and get this all, put back together?
Well, and I'm glad you asked that, because it really goes further than that. Because, once you know that something like that is going to happen, you do what was done. You stage relief supplies in places that can get there quickly. Trump did make one statement that people didn't really think about, is that Puerto Rico is an island, and if that had happened in Florida, you could have trucks rolling in from Texas, and they don't need anything to get here other than the wheels and gas. But, when you're on an island, you have to consider that it can take 3 days to get there. It can take 4 days or 5 days, depending on where you're coming from, to get there.
All right, Kevin, I think we got a phone call coming in right now. Who's on the line?
Man, it's your boy, DJ Tony Sanchez, straight out of the Windy City. What's going on, Luis?
What's going on, boss man? How you doing?
Man, I'm great, man. Just calling to wish you and the missus, it should be a happy anniversary coming up, right?
Our anniversary just passed.
Yeah, it did.
Well, happy anniversary to you and the wife, man. I love you both so much, man. How you doing?
We're doing pretty good, man. We appreciate you, man. And for anybody who hasn't had the opportunity yet to check out my good buddy DJ Tony Sanchez, he broadcasts on Spreaker, man. He does a show every damn day, all day long. He's out there putting it out there, and you got to enjoy the tunes, man. We definitely appreciate you, and for doing what you do, putting a smile on people's faces.
It's my pleasure, man. Without our listeners, there's no us, man. So we got to give them the best that we had to offer, man. Listen, I want to wish you continued success. Welcome back, baby. Been missing you.
I know, it's been a long time. It's all Kevin's fault.
Yeah, it's my fault. I'll take the blame.
All right, man. All right. Well, what's up, Kev? Love you, man. Hey, man, y'all keep doing great things over there, man. And make sure you keep it locked with your little brother, man. All right?
All right. I love you, man. You be easy.
All right, man. Peace.
Peace.
That was DJ Tony Sanchez. Again.
Awesome to hear from you.
All
right, so.
Go ahead, Kev.
So like I said, it is an island, so getting things there is difficult. Now, what would I do to rebuild? I mean, there's no question. I'm doing all I can, But again, we have to realize that we've had disasters in 3 locations. So it's not going to be quick. It's not going to be easy, and it's going to be difficult to do in all 3 places. And you have to prioritize. You have to prioritize what you need to get done and how soon you need to get it done. The first thing you need to do is you need to reestablish electricity. You need to make sure that you've got people that have power. You need to make sure that you have food supplies coming in so that they're eating while they're waiting, and then that they can have food when the power comes back on. You need to have fuel coming in, because you can't move that food without fuel. So you got to get those 3 things taken care of. You got to take care of the power, the gas, and the health and well-being. Those are the 3 main things. Mm-hmm. After that, let's talk. But those are the 3 things that you have to establish first. And, like I said, Texas and Florida, that's easy, because you can have trucks sitting there waiting, and they can be there in, hours. Whereas on an island, I mean, let's put this in perspective, okay?
Perspectives from the edge. Hold on, y'all.
Yeah, perspectives from the edge. Here you go. Let's put it this way. Puerto Rico started receiving aid roughly 48 hours after the storm passed. They started receiving aid. Now, let's contrast that with St. Martin, who went through Hurricane Irma. Their aid supplies had to come from the Netherlands. Those ships are just arriving. So they've been sustaining themselves on what cruise ships have been able to bring in, what they were able to get from San Juan before San Juan went down, and whatever else they can get from the islands who weren't affected around them. So let's put that in perspective. So in one sense, you know, Puerto Rico and St. Thomas have received aid way faster than St. Martin and Dominica and these other countries because their leadership is further away. So again, it just comes down to establishing those basic needs for life. Let's take care of that, because here's how it happens. You know, the storm passes, you have search and rescue efforts, you have medical personnel arriving, you have mobile hospitals being set up. That's all in the first 48 hours. You know, that's, of course, once the storm passes, you got to give it time to get through so that you can get people in safely. Once that happens, the Navy's already on their way. The Navy arrives probably day 2 somewhere because they're already on station waiting. They arrive 2 days later, they assess the situation, they tell the folks in Washington what they need, and that's sent. Meanwhile, you know, what's not getting reported and what people on the island have reported, particularly people I know, is that they've had airplanes coming in and out of that airport 24 hours a day, bringing in supplies. You know, that's happening now. The problem wasn't getting it to the island. It was getting it to places on the island because of the roads and the bridges and the flooding and the power lines down. All that stuff had to be cleared out. And, you know, a lot has been made of the truck drivers in Puerto Rico not wanting to work. That's not been the case at all from what I'm hearing. From what I'm hearing is they were busy trying to dig themselves out and make sure their vehicles worked.
Yep.
So once that was taken care of, they were able to get out and do the work that needed to be done. In the meantime, the military's been doing that. But you don't have 100,000 military on the ground. You've got, you know, 2,000 or 3,000 military personnel on the ground moving stuff around. So it's complex. That's not an excuse. It's just the way it is. You know, I mean, even here in Florida, you know, we were without power. Not me personally, but there were areas in Jacksonville without power for a week, and that's local. And we had crews here because crews can come from everywhere. On the island, first you have to hope the line trucks are still operational, and if they're not, then you have to be able to get line trucks there. And where do they come from? The mainland. I mean, I just read that 49 line crews from Jacksonville Electric Authority are on their way to Puerto Rico. They should be there in 3 days because it takes 3 days to get the vehicles there by boat. So, you know, people have been screaming, "Well, that should have been done right after the storm." Well, it's not that simple.
You don't have that access.
No, you don't. I mean, you can, and believe me, the military has been flying in what they can, but it was never going to be enough in those initial hours. And that's the hard part, is that they knew it was never going to be enough. You know, because you've got, first off, you're responding to 2 other disasters. And, you know, military airlift command is spread pretty thin because you've got troops all over the world.
Yeah.
So whatever aircraft they could spare, they were using. And they were hiring, leasing out airlines, leasing out aircraft to supplement the need. And then you throw in what cruise lines have been doing. And you know, we talk a lot about travel on the show. But, you know, Carnival Cruise Line donated over $12 million to hurricane relief. And they've been running the Fascination in and out of those islands with aid supplies in the days after the event.
And also bringing back people to the mainland and stuff like that too.
Yeah, exactly. And they were doing, and Royal Caribbean's been doing the same thing. And, you know, Royal Caribbean's been getting a lot of good publicity out of this, but they're certainly not the only ones that are doing it. Exactly. But they canceled 2 or 3 cruises on a ship and have been using it for nothing but hurricane relief, bringing in generators and water and food and medicine and all this other stuff and evacuating people from the islands. That's what they've been doing, and hats off to them because they're not making any money doing that. You know, that ship, when it's not full of passengers spending money on bars, they're losing money. And at this point, they don't care, and that's the way it should be. You know, Norwegian's done the same thing. They sent a ship to St. Thomas to evacuate people. So that, I find, really impressive. And a lot of it has to do with these cruise lines have a lot invested in those islands, and the more they can do to help them get back on their feet, the sooner they can bring back the thing that keeps these islands alive, and that's Americans spending money, foreigners spending money from their cruise ships. So, but as far as I'm concerned, you know, the guy in Washington needs to just listen to what his people are telling him that they need and just send it in. Let's just do it. We'll talk later. Actions.
Yep.
Actions.
I mean, until then, he's going to keep getting judged until he gets, you know, excuse my language, the shit put together and get it together.
Right, because, I mean, at the end of the day, Puerto Rico is a U.S. Commonwealth. And as a Commonwealth, yes, it's its own government. It elects its own people to run its business. But you know what? A lot of what happens in Washington affects what happens in Puerto Rico. And in the 90s, Bill Clinton ended the tax break for businesses doing business in Puerto Rico. And when they lost that tax exemption, their employment skyrocketed. And there are more Puerto Ricans living in the U.S. than there are living in Puerto Rico. And that's partially why, because if there's no jobs, and I'm not saying that what he did was wrong. I don't know the details behind it. I just know that there's a correlation between ending that tax exemption and Puerto Rico's debt issue. Because seeing the business booming with that tax exemption, they spent money they didn't have. They spent money on what they thought they were going to earn from these corporations that were doing business in Puerto Rico. And when that fell through, that was it.
You know what? There's a whole lot to this recovery process, and hopefully it'll get done and get done quick, and get everybody to where we needed them to be, so everybody can live life and get the struggle over with. But on the line right now, we have a good friend of ours that we have not heard from in ages, and I'm gonna go and say hello to Miss Brenda and her beautiful little daughter, Miss Dorothy. How are you guys doing?
Wake up.
Oh, wait. She
oh, look how cute. Oh, my goodness. I remember when mine was that small. I missed that.
Hold on. I got to get the camera up here so everybody can actually
Hi,
see.
baby. Hello there. Oh, look at that face. I could just pinch those cheeks. My goodness.
Here you go, guys. This is Miss Dorothy.
Now, see, this is a good way to have our show ending, you know?
So cute. Must get the looks from her daddy.
How old is she?
5 weeks.
5 weeks? Oh, my goodness.
And 12 pounds.
And you're already a star on the radio. Look at you.
Well, she deserves it. Miss Brenda's been sticking by us for way too damn long. Give her a little bit of screen time.
Oh my goodness, such a cutie. You are too adorable, little one.
How are you guys doing over there? You guys been doing all right?
Been all right. We have our ups and downs. The baby crying for
Welcome.
5 hours nonstop.
Welcome to motherhood.
Oh, is she your only first?
My first.
Oh.
Is it your last?
My first and last. One, I was told I wasn't allowed to have kids by my gynecologist.
Really?
And then a year later,
Here she is.
here she is.
Aw. Well,
That's awesome.
She's beautiful.
Thank you.
Where's Daddy?
At work. He's at work. What are you looking at?
All right, Dorothy, you can't come on the show without doing a voiceover. So let's.
You're listening to your favorite radio station in Orlando, 102 DLG Radio Orlando. Who's your favorite DJ? Me. Not Chris Top. Oh, sorry, Chris. I love you, man. But oh, she's so adorable. Well, thank you for sharing her with us. She's so cute.
She's adorable.
And
Enjoy it while she's young. Oh,
You got to come on when she turns 18 so we can see how she grew.
I'm going to be posting pictures from now till whenever.
So, as long as we're on the air, every time it's her birthday, you bring her on the show so we can watch her grow.
All right. August 28th.
Oh, that's
awesome.
That's almost about a year away. Okay, I'm good for that.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
she's so cute.
Congratulations, my dear, and thank you for again sharing her with us. She's so cute. It just makes you want to adopt a dog.
Can you see this?
Just makes me want to adopt a dog.
Now you're gonna watch our ratings spike.
Right? Everybody's gonna tune in and be like, oh my god, look at that cute baby.
Yeah. Like, wow, I didn't know Mike had gotten so young. We knew he cried a lot, but man.
Mike, you actually look cute. Oh, wait a minute. It's wearing a dress. That's not you.
Actually, she's in a skirt outfit.
Aw, she's so cute.
She's so cute.
My goodness.
I'm so jealous.
14 years ago for me.
Hey, by the way, Halloween's coming up, Kevin. Where you gonna wear for Halloween?
I don't know. You know, I've been thinking about something, and I'll run it by you. I've been thinking about, Mike still has his GoFundMe account, right?
Uh-huh.
If we raise enough money in that GoFundMe account, I might do something.
Uh-oh. I'm afraid.
But, you know, because see, I caught flack because I didn't shave my head, right?
Uh-huh.
You know, in support. I mean, you have your head shaved all the time, so it doesn't really make any difference for you. It's not like you're doing anything different than you normally would. So I've been asked would I shave my head, and the answer is I would, but it would take a lot of money to do it. So we need to talk about that and put it together and see if we can raise money for Mike's GoFundMe, and then I'll do it.
Well, if you need hair, I can always give it to you off my balls, and you put it right back on your head.
You have a young lady on the show.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Brenda!
And you're talking about giblets. Hello?
Oh, please. She's so used to me.
You don't listen.
Oh,
he's talking about bounce balls. He's talking about bounce balls. The cute little ones that are hanging.
The blue ones.
Yeah, that hang above your crib that you can play with and bat around.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, thank you, Brenda. We're gonna get ready to head out of this place, but thank you for calling and sharing that cute little Dorothy with us. Now you're gonna have Toto, and you're gonna have Scarecrow and Tin Man and the Wicked Witch of the East, the West.
Actually, I have a dog.
Look at that!
Oh my God!
Sleeping Beauty.
Is that a Chihuahua?
Yes, part Chihuahua.
Oh my God! I got a Chihuahua too.
So now we're going to establish what's your dog's name, Brittany?
Athena.
Okay, what's your dog's name, Lewis?
Bridget.
Bridget. So we have to have a play date.
Yes.
With the dog.
Yes. Was it over Skype?
Yeah. We'll have to make sure they're dressed up and in bags.
Yes.
Yeah. I saw the dog in the costume the other day. I'm starting to worry about you.
Well, listen, Shakira's the one who'll be dressing up the dog, okay? Don't blame me.
All right.
I'm just here for the fun of it.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, guys, we're getting ready to head out of here. So thank you, Brenda. We'll see you around again. And she's so cute. Oh, my God. So adorable.
So adorable.
She's actually a lot cuter than Mike. Just saying.
Yeah, if we had her on every week, I mean, I can only imagine what our ratings would be.
We got a new co-host here in the studio.
You should probably have more intelligent opinions than I do.
Well. I don't know. Well, hey, what's up, Danny? Danny, everybody just showing up now. We're getting towards the end of the show. But hello, guys. Appreciate you guys coming by. Danny's been around a long time, too. And Jen. Oh, my God. I feel old. But with that, guys, being said, Kevin, any final words before we head out of here, bud?
Yeah, I do, actually. And I would say that, you know, in light of our events in Las Vegas, if you can donate blood, do it. Even if they can't use it there. There are people in your community that need blood every day. And blood banks are constantly looking for people to donate blood. So if you can, please do. And hurricane relief. If you can donate to hurricane relief, whether it's for Houston, Florida, the islands, go out and do it. It doesn't take that long. And remember, you're helping people who've lost everything. So
yep.
give back. It's time to give back. You know, it's not about thoughts and prayers. Those are fine, but tangible things help more.
Most definitely.
Just saying.
Most definitely. Hey guys, don't forget, I'll be back this Friday night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Friday Night Music Request Live. And I'm actually going to give control to Shakira this Friday. She's going to be choosing all the music for the show. And
except one song.
Uh-oh.
She's going to play Look What You Made Me Do.
Look What You Made Me Do.
Taylor, she can't come to the phone right now.
Why?
She's dead.
Kevin, you must got that song stuck in your head.
I love that song. Of course I love her. I can't help it.
Are you driving on the highway with the windows up and you just got the song music blasted in the car?
Oh no, I put the windows down. I'm like that. Have you seen that commercial for the car company where that dude with the awful looking upper lip is singing Sweet Caroline? Have you seen that commercial?
Uh-huh.
That's me. Except it's not Sweet Caroline. It's usually Taylor Swift. So
well, for anybody who doesn't know, Kevin's been with the show 3 years, and he's a huge Taylor Swift fan.
Absolutely. I am a Swiftie. I'm not in the closet anymore about that. I admit it. You know, I've learned the best way to embarrass my son is to show my Swiftie colors. So I do it frequently.
So guys, do not judge Kevin. It's just a phase. He will hopefully grow out of that phase. And if not, look what you made him do.
Exactly. Look what you made me do. Taylor, look what you made me do.
So guys, Friday night...
Hours, Taylor.
So guys, Friday Night Music Request Live is going to be old school Friday night. So we're going to be playing nothing but 90s music. Shakira's going to be choosing all the tunes. I can't even talk. So make sure you tune in live, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'll be here playing all the tunes. So guys, Kevin, thank you so much. It's been a fun show. It's been a hell of a lot of fun. And I can't wait to see you guys next week. Next week, we're going to be talking about some cancer stuff, man. And we're definitely going to get in depth with that. And Mike will sure give us an update on what's going on with him. And in the meantime, guys, go check out Irish Kevin's on Key West. They're not sponsors of ours, but hey, if Kevin's wearing it, you got to check it out.
Great bar, folks. And Key West is open for business, so get down there and spend your money and help those people get back on their feet.
I've been meaning to say that since the beginning of the show. I just love the hat. Seriously, I've been wanting to say the Irish Kevin's Key West thing. Guys, we'll see you guys soon. Kevin, thank you so much, man. And till next time, guys, we're out of here. Deuces, baby.